Today we are crocheting these sturdy baskets. They are handy for holding so many little things in your home and in your craft room. To get a sturdy basket, you need some kind of twine or cord. I'm actually using macrame cord, which is ideal for this because the stitches are very sturdy using it. This is what it looks like close by. Or you can use any kind of cotton twine. This one is something I have used for cushions a lot. Or you can use t-shirt yarn. This is being sold for loom weaving and also for things like crochet rugs. So it's quite thick. And then you need to get the hook that goes with the yarn you have chosen. It needs to be quite big, but choose one that feels comfortable compared to the yarn. I have here 6, 7, 8 and 12 millimeters. The 12 is far too big and I'm going to use size 8 millimeter. The size of the basket is determined by the base, and this is where you can easily decide to do any size you like. And the size is of course affected by the thickness of your yarn and the size of your hook. For this small basket, I only chained 8 plus 1 for turning. And the one I'm making now will be bigger so that this one goes inside it, so that when they are not in use, they don't take up too much space. So you will make this whatever size of a basket you want to do. And the sides just always go round the base. And you can also make it as high as you want by continuing this. This one's 8 and I'll chain 12 now and see how long that is. It can take a while getting used to crocheting such thick yarn, and you may find that you will end up holding your yarn or hook or both in a different way than normal. So I'll just start by making a slip knot and chaining 12. It's a bit hard to get it. So I have 12 and now I measure it to the basket. No, 2 more. 14. Yes, that will do. And then I start crocheting back and forth using single crochets. That's an American crochet term. It's double crochet, the same stitch in British crochet terms. So after your chain is the size you want, chain 1 more for turning. And then start crocheting single crochets, 1 into every stitch. It's a bit hard to get it. I normally always hold my hook like this here, but now I'm turning it the other way around, so I'm holding it from the top, because this is a bit hard to pull through. So crochet single crochets up to the end. Here's my first row done. Then chain 1 for turning. And make sure now that you start right at the first stitch, so that we'll get very even sides here. And I'm inserting the hook under both of the loops to get it sturdy. Okay, I can change the way I hold the hook automatically. So through both loops and another single crochet. If you are enjoying this tutorial, please give it a like and also subscribe to my channel. Continue to the end of this row and we'll look at it a bit then. When you come to the end, make sure that you will also crochet the last stitch here. So the one before last and the last one. and then chain 1 for turning, turn, and again start with the very first stitch. Continue working back and forth until it's almost a square, and then I'll show you how you can easiest measure that it is exactly a square without using a measuring tape. Now I have done this much, and I need to measure if it's square yet, and the easiest way to do it is to fold it into two diagonally like this, and this here would be level with here if it was square, so it's not yet. Looks like I need 2 more rows. I crochet once more back and forth, 2 rows, and now, yes, now it's a proper square. There, and then we start working on the sides. So I continue straight on in the corner where I am, chain 1, and we'll have 1 single crochet at the end of each row. Look at it so you know where there is a row. This here is 1 row, and this here is 1 row. Because we have been going back and forth, the rows are showing clearly in sets of 2. So this here bit is always 2 rows. So insert the hook at the end of the first row and a single crochet, then skip to the next one, same there, and then here. It's important here that you don't add, that you don't make any extra stitches. And then that one. This is quite a hard row here. And then here. Like this, and continue to the corner. We look at it there. It's on purpose, by the way, that I don't count how many rows and how many stitches here, because this same idea works for whatever size. So I want you to think for yourself. Okay, now I'm close to the corner, and it's a corner where I started, but you might be in the other one depending on how many rows you needed. And then 1 stitch in the corner. And then we continue along this here where we started. So this is a bit easier because there's these loops from the chain. So 1 stitch again, 1 single crochet in each of those. And again here, check that you only make 1 into each so that the sides will be straight upwards. So like this until that corner here, and I already made a stitch in the corner and just 1, and then the next side is just the same as the first one. So you need 1 stitch at the end of each row, starting here. And again work to the next corner. That was the 3rd side, and I've already done the corner stitch. And this last side is easiest in a way because that's the last row. So into each of those. First one's a bit hard, because at least in my crochet that's tighter. But then just go to the end of the row. That's the first round of the sides done, except that I haven't finished the round off. This is the last stitch, and you need to make a slip stitch to the start of the round. My stitch is in here. And a slip stitch. Okay, and then we start the next round. chain 1 and make the first stitch in the same stitch where you are at the moment. There. And then we simply go round 1 single crochet in each stitch, also in the corner, never increasing or decreasing anything. And I'm going to always put my hook under the whole stitch, both loops. But now if you wanted it a bit lighter, wanted like a line of these stitches here, you could take just the back loop each time. So each time that back loop there, that makes it look a bit different. You could try that if you wanted to, but I'll take both sides so that it gets sort of sturdier. So go round like this, just 1 stitch everywhere, including the corner. So when you come to the corner, you just have 1 stitch in each stitch. That makes it turn upwards then. So go right round, and then we'll look at how to start the next round so that we don't increase or decrease any stitches. So now I went round again, and don't make a single crochet into the slip stitch that you had. So there's a bit of a gap here at the end, and then make a slip stitch in the first stitch of the same round. It's important not to add stitches at this stage. It's hard to get it. There. And the reason to sort of skip that is that we want the sort of a seam going straight and not starting to go to the left here. So chain 1 and always then start in that same stitch where you are already. And this is what you then keep going. Always just 1 single crochet into each stitch. And you just keep going until it's high enough. You can see now that it's starting to build upwards and look a bit like a basket. So the important thing is to have 1 stitch in each stitch right round. So just keep going until it's high enough. My basket is growing. It's this size now, and let's look. It's not the height of the smaller one yet, so I'll make it a bit bigger. When it's big enough, cut the yarn, and I find that weaving in something like this is easiest with a metal hook. So first there, through the stitch in front of you, and then and so on. Here we are. Also check out this cushion pattern. That would look great with the baskets. Until next time.